Hello and welcome to another episode of the Budget Traveler. My name is Nahashon, and right now I'm Garissa. I am in Garissa town. Let me just show you the view that I have. Yes, I am looking at trailers. Basically, that's what I'm looking at. I'm seated in some stone. I'm seated on top of a stone, looking at trailers and traffic, and yeah, behind me is a field. It's like someone is creeping on me. Behind me is a field. So every time you look online trying to figure out any information about northeastern Kenya, there's literally nothing interesting. Like, just go to Google and search road to Garissa, and all you'll see is just sad stories about bombings and kidnappings and all other bad things imaginable. So I decided, how about I just come and see the place for myself. So uh, let me narrate the journey to you. I had to get a cab which took me to Isili, and I booked a Ryan coach bus which goes to Garissa. I have used this bus before to go to Mwingi and always wanted to reach Garissa for the first time. The bus cost 1,500 shillings. The bus was comfortable and even had working USB sockets. The seats could recline and they were very comfortable. Due to the current global pandemic, sitting was spaced out well with everyone having an empty seat next to them. Exactly 8:30 am, we were off in what started as a smooth ride but turned to a nervous ride as the bus was literally flying, and by around 1:45 pm, we had arrived in Garissa. The road to Garissa is well tarmacked and can be accessed with any sized car and can make for a simple road trip. The terrain is mostly flat, and because Eastern Kenya is mostly an arid and semi-arid area with large flat lands covered with shrubs, there is nothing much to look at beyond kilometers of dry land. On reaching Garissa town, I walked around for a while just trying to familiarize myself with the area, and later on booked a hotel. It is unfortunate that despite there being many hotels, they are not online in the popular apps like Airbnb, Booking.com, or even Jumia Travel. I chose the most popular hotel called Nomad Hotel, and I chose it over others because it was just a walking distance to the town center. I booked the hotel, which cost 2,500 shillings per night. This is my room. Wait, I'm forgetting my key outside. Let me give you guys a quick tour of the room that I got. The hotel is called Nomad Hotel. This is a shelf. Where's the light? This is the bathroom, shower. There's a TV, there's a mirror, there's a good desk here, and this is the bed. It looks nice and neat, and the room is huge. There's some drawers. There's a phone. I don't know if it's working. There's an AC, another drawer. There's the AC, and that's it. The room is 2,500 shillings. There's nothing much outside here. It's actually boring, and it's disappointing that the place doesn't have a swimming pool. Not that I know how to swim, I even don't know how to swim. It's so hot, like I'm sweating all over. Anyway, I'm in Garissa, so let's see what we can do for the next 6 hours. because I'm leaving for Mandera tomorrow in the morning. I've been told that the bus to Mandera is 4,000 shillings, which is very expensive. And this room has cost me 2,500 shillings. Through some negotiations, otherwise they were telling me 3,500 shillings, which is too expensive. So I want to relax for like an hour, then go check the buses, confirm the buses for Mandera tomorrow, and after that maybe try and see what I can do for a few hours before I come and sleep. So see you in a few. After resting for a while, I was out again trying to figure out some activities I might be able to do. First thing I wanted to see was the Tana River, which passes close to the town. I took a boda that took me there, but ended up being disappointed with the location since there wasn't a lot to look at or do. I wished there was some kind of structure that people would sit and soak in the views, or even boat rides whenever it's known that the river is calm. Unfortunately, there wasn't much to see and I had to leave.
Kumaanisha maji upanda hadi
mpaka huko juu mpaka town.
Hadi town.
Mpaka huko DRC.
So yote hufunikwa na maji hapa. Hizi nyumba hizo funikwa. Lakini maji inaingia ndani. This is Tana River. And interestingly, the sand feels like big sand. Look at that. It's so, can I call it silk or smooth? And the river is huge. It goes all the way to Indian Ocean. So right now I'm in Garissa. That's where the main highway is. And it meanders all the way from, what's the source of Tana River? Is it Mount Kenya? Yeah, this place looks deserted. That's the word. I'm being told that this used to be a field. This right here. It used to be a playground, but now every time the water floods, it goes all the way up. So it covers even those houses there. I don't know if you can see that. There's a church there, it covers that. And it goes for like another almost 200 meters away. So maybe that's why it's so hard for them to develop this area here, because every time the water floods, it just damages things. But this will make for a very good place to just come and chill. You can imagine if, okay, that's a bad idea, clearing the trees, but people can be parking their cars and then you just like catch a sunset. It's a good chill spot. Unfortunately, nothing much to do, no boat rides, because this water is very risky. Sometimes maybe there's a flood that happened somewhere else. So while you're here, you might not know about that. Then the water will rise very fast. And you can see kids swimming there, and this place is reported to have killed so many kids here when they come to swim. So it's nature is nature, you can't control nature. So yeah, that's a quick update on Tana River. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I can do in Garissa apparently. I heard there's a giraffe something somewhere, but I've not been able to find it, and no local knows where it is. So I think I'm just going to go back to the hotel and sit there until tomorrow as I travel to Mandera. So yeah, and that's sad that there's nothing you can do in Garissa apart from sitting in a hotel. Like, it looks like a place that can have several opportunities according to what I've seen. So it's such a shame. Yeah, anyway, see you in a bit. I went back to the main town and walked around even more, just going round and round the small town. I occasionally asked boda people if there is anywhere I could go, but never got any recommendation. The national parks that people can visit are at least 50 kilometers away, and you need a car to access them. I have decided to just walk around this Garissa town, because now there's really nothing else I can do. So there's a mall I saw somewhere, and we Nairobians love malls, so let me go and chill in a mall and see how it looks like. It looks new, so that's what I want to go and see. Some sad story. 2 or was it 3 days ago, there was some shooting that happened here. People were protesting against police killings, and this road was impassable at that time.
One thing I was told though was that Garissa has a very vibrant nightlife. There was no way to explore that because of the global pandemic and nighttime curfew in place. The most convenient mode of transport in Garissa is boda bodas or tuk-tuks, which are in the hundreds. Garissa is full of shops and small markets as it is with towns with people of the Somali origin who are very enterprising. I ended my day with spending an hour watching a football game in a field just next to the town. I don't know the teams or which team won, but it was interesting passing time there. Evening came and I retired to my hotel ready for the next day.
This is the most unnecessary, complicated shower I have ever seen. Check this. That's the normal tap. There is something like a knob here. I don't know what it does. There is this knob here which adjusts the height, and then these knobs this side adjust the angle. There's a knob here for heating, on, off. I don't know what this does. It's just written off, maximum. This tap goes this side and this side. So it took me at least 10 minutes to figure out how to use the shower, because I kept opening the tap. Then I could just turn it this side and I'm still opening the tap. The other side, I'm opening the tap. I thought this is a button. It's not. If you rotate this thing, you're removing the whole screw. So you put it back in. Like, why does it have to be this complicated? So I had to call the reception to ask them, how do I use the shower? So you have to let the water run first, and then you pull these upwards. Like, why? Why can't it just be a simple button the way we are used to? Anyway, complicated shower and hello and welcome to day 2. So today is when we travel to Wajir. Time to leave this comfort from Nomad Hotel and head to the town and see if I'm going to get a bus early enough. So I was told the buses are supposed to arrive from Nairobi. That is, they're supposed to leave Nairobi at 5 a.m. and they should be here anywhere from 8 a.m. to 8:30. Then they leave for Wajir and Mandera at 9 a.m. not p.m. It's supposed to be a 12-hour journey, and I'm not yet so sure how that will go. Like, honestly, I have no idea how this day is going to go. So let me vacate the hotel room, go get some breakfast, and we are out.
Waking up early again for the second day wasn't that hard. I quickly took breakfast and rushed to the bus stage, ready to travel to Mandera if possible. The bus companies in the area told me there is no bus going to Mandera since the government has withdrawn all security escorts. If I wanted to reach Mandera, I will have to take the bus to Wajir and from there board a pickup or hitchhike a lorry which will take me to Mandera. Mandera is a whole 345 kilometers away from Wajir. To put that to perspective, it's as far as from Nairobi to Kisumu, or Nairobi to Kisii, or Nairobi to Eldoret, or Nairobi to Meru and back to Embu. A journey that takes roughly 6 hours in other parts of Kenya, but in northeastern Kenya, with the untarmacked, dusty roads and literally driving on desert sand, it can take up to 10 hours if the weather is fine. When I was to reach Wajir, I was advised to get a car heading for Mandera, which will then stop in some town along the way when 9 p.m. reaches for people to sleep, and the journey will resume 4 a.m. after the curfew ends. The alternative was to wait an extra day in Wajir and travel to Mandera the next day early morning. At that point, I wasn't really sure on what to do next and decided to go to Wajir first, and if it's still early, proceed to Mandera. I arrived at the bus terminus 8 am but had to wait till 10 am for the first bus to arrive. The bus looked beat up despite having a newer number plate. It didn't have a front grille and I just crossed my fingers that the road was good. It wasn't. The seats in the bus looked new and okay. I paid 1,500 shillings fare to Wajir and exactly 11 am we were off. Unlike the trip from Nairobi to Garissa, which started slow and gained pace, this time round, it's like we started driving at 140 kilometers per hour. The road was very good, newly tarmacked road for about 50 kilometers, and then we turned to one of the dustiest and roughest roads I have ever been to in recent times. It only reminded me of how bad the roads were in my high school years, with their Kamba buses trotting through the forest of Naivasha and hills past Nakuru. The road was extremely terrible. It all made sense why the bus was overspeeding on the tarmac. It was all to make up time for the slowish speeds we were to face ahead. It also made sense why there are so many road accidents along the Garissa and Mandera route. The poor infrastructure gives the drivers no alternatives other than to risk lives because being stuck in the middle of nowhere is equally dangerous. We passed through semi-arid and arid areas. The bus was skidding in several locations. I kept thinking how there is a high chance of dying from a bus crash than a terrorist attack in that route. There wasn't much to see outside apart from empty vastlands full of shrubs. The scorching heat would make you want to open the windows, but the rising dust from the bus moving wouldn't give you that option. Along the way, I saw 3 giraffes with one being next to the road. The driver had to hoot for it to move. There were several antelopes along the way and so many camels. We've taken a prayer break, and for us who are not Muslims, it's like a bathroom break. And this is how the road looks like. We've been on such a road for the last maybe 1 hour 30 minutes, and this is how it continues until we reach Mandera. No, until we reach Wajir, not Mandera. We're going to Wajir. That's the bus. The journey went on for what can be described as a lifetime, but finally we reached Wajir town close to 5 p.m. At that time, I wasn't going to travel to Mandera. I talked with more people about the journey to Mandera and I didn't get any good news other than people telling me to avoid the journey for a few days as they wait for the government to restore security. I cancelled the whole idea of going to Mandera. One thing I realized about Garissa and Wajir town is that they have a plastic pollution problem. This might be contributed with the heat and scarcity of water, making people use more plastic bottles to carry water, but with poor disposal, the towns have been littered with a lot of plastic. As is my tradition, I started with aimlessly walking in the town just to familiarize myself with the place before booking a hotel room.
It's day 2. Let me show you the room tour for the second hotel that I got in Wajir. This is the bathroom, toilet, very big space, mirror. The place is very dusty. If you can see my shoes, I think I've lost my voice. There's some good drawers here. There's a TV, and that is the bed with some drawers and old phone. I like the lighting. Things I never use, mosquito nets. Then here there's a fridge. There's a safe. I don't know what you'd want to put in there. And a working desk if you travel with a laptop or something like that. So it's nice. Cost me 2,500 shillings. So yeah, that is the second room tour. At least there's an AC. It's very hot.
I booked Wajir Palace Hotel, which was close to the Wajir airport, and the hotel room cost me 1,500 shillings. After resting for a few minutes, I went back to Wajir town to walk more and have supper before going back to the hotel and ending my day.
Good morning, day 3. Bad news. I'm heading to the airport to go back to Nairobi. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to Mandera because the buses are not being given any escort from Wajir to Mandera. So there's no bus that is heading there. The alternative is to use some pickup cabs. No, actually, the alternative is to use some pickups, which 400 kilometers seated at the back of a pickup on a rough road like this, even worse, is not that a good idea. And then it's 3,000 shillings one way, so that is very expensive. So unfortunately, I have to postpone that for a much later time. Yeah, I think I'll do that trip when I have a private car. It will be easier. I've been working for a while. The airport is here. The hotel I was sleeping in was just close by. But Wajir looks neat. Dusty but neat.
On this day, I had already decided I won't go to Mandera, and I went to Wajir airport to catch a flight back to Nairobi. I saw news posted on Twitter about Lamu bus drivers complaining their bus security was withdrawn too, and that only assured my cancellation of traveling to Mandera. I managed to book a last-minute flight with Jetways, and the plane left Wajir 9 a.m. for a 1 hour 20 minutes flight, and we reached Nairobi exactly at 10:20 a.m. That was the end of my northeastern adventure, but only for the time. Until next time when security has been reinstated, I will finish what I had started and reach Mandera. My final opinion will be there is no much difference between Wajir and any other Kenyan town. I wish the county governments of the areas would create or give people the chance to create fun activities that can be done in the areas and capitalize on hitchhikers and other kinds of tourists. After all, Dubai is a desert, so it can be done. If you have listened this far, thank you for your time and don't be afraid to travel. Get a bus to any location you think of and travel there. Time is all we have, and travel more. Have a good day and see you on the next adventure.